Welcome back to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. We're talking about sexual harassment in the Oregon State Legislature and in other workplaces across the country. My guest, Democratic State Senator Sara Gelser, Republican State Representative Julie Parrish, and former State Senator Diane Rosenbaum. Thank you again for being here, joining in this conversation about an important topic. Let's talk a little bit about the Me Too campaign. A little over 2 weeks ago, women across the country followed the example of actress Alyssa Milano and using the trending hashtag #MeToo to share that they were a victim of sexual assault or harassment. And this is the tweet that started it all. You probably saw posts and tweets all over your Facebook and Twitter feeds. The originator, I learned, of that movement was actually a black woman, Tarana Burke, who worked for social justice more than 20 years ago. But the Me Too campaign really took off with Milano's tweet after the Harvey Weinstein cases and all the allegations from many women there. So far, this tweet has been shared and retweeted millions of times, not to mention all the posts that we've seen. What's your reaction? I'll start with Senator Rosenbaum. What's your reaction to the Me Too campaign?
I think it's great and a very healthy thing that women are coming forward and talking about their experiences. You know, when we hear stories about the things that are happening in the state capitol or in a fast food restaurant, things that are illegal right now, it's important for women to feel that they can come forward and talk to somebody, as Sara Gelser did, about what's going on. It's also important that they talk to other people and keep notes of what's happened, because these behaviors should not be happening. But if they don't clear up because of an education campaign or because of warnings, then there are steps that you can take to file formal complaints, but you need to have evidence when you do that. So I think it's very healthy that we've got women coming forward and telling their stories at all levels of government and in the media and in the private sector.
Senator Gelser, do you think that the Harvey Weinstein issue has emboldened women to be able to speak up? Did that help you to go public with your complaint?
Well, I certainly wouldn't credit Harvey Weinstein. I would credit women.
Forward.
I would credit
the
women that were coming forward. I think the Me Too campaign, and thank you for mentioning where that came from. So often we have progress in our culture that is started by women of color, and we take credit away from them instead of giving it where it belongs. So thank you for noticing that. But I think it gave people words. It gave people words to say, this is a problem that I've experienced, without having to figure out how to bring it up, without feeling like they had to describe this incident that was humiliating and demeaning to them. I think it allowed women to talk about it at work. I think it allowed mothers and daughters and grandmothers and aunts and nieces to talk about this and really bring that forward. So I hope it's a moment that makes it more acceptable for people to talk, because they know that they're not alone and they know what they've experienced is not acceptable.
I think it's mothers and sons. I have 3 boys. So, you know, my job as their mother is to raise young men who know that women can do anything and they should be treated as equal partners. And when you're working with a woman in the workforce, that they earn and deserve respect. And I think if that's the one example I can set for my own boys, and then have things that we're seeing in the media spark that conversation, that's happening in our house.
I think it was eye-opening for a lot of men too. I heard men say, it seems like every woman I know is saying Me Too, and someone said, I even saw my mom is saying Me Too. I think it was surprising to a lot of people. We only have a little over 2 minutes or so left, but I do want to talk about what's next. What can happen? What should happen next after this? What advice that you have for women in light of all of this? We'll start with Senator Rosenbaum.
I would say women need to be brave, just as the women that we're talking about today have been. And then men need to be good citizens and partners in calling out this bad behavior. We need better educational campaigns and training. We need to take the complaint process that we have and make sure that people are in a position to use it if the problem doesn't get cleared up on its own. But ultimately, women need to run for office. Women need to seek leadership positions in the workplace. And all of us Oregonians are going to benefit when that happens.
Is there, Senator Gelser, is there anything that can be done legislatively? Is there anything you think should happen as a result when you go back in session in January?
Well, I think it certainly needs to be acknowledged that we've had this experience. I think women in the building need to see a resolution to the issues that have been brought forward. And my hope is people understand the process, their options, and they know they can speak up, and that they don't deserve to be treated in that way.
We have about a minute left, so I want to give Representative Parrish a chance to say something about that. Advice for women going into politics or women in the workplace?
It's like any job. Politics is still a male-dominated world. I do some of both the policy side and the politics side, and it's even more rare to have women on the campaign side of things and be in that space and deal with some of the things that you are said to you along the way. And so I think, you know, be bold, come forward, and find a woman to be your mentor, find a man to be your mentor, really, who will come forward and let you use them as that sounding board, but also if you can't use your own voice, find someone who can be a voice for you.
Well, we need men and women to speak up about this. Thank you all for joining us and talking about this really important topic. Just 10 seconds, a final thought you'd like to leave with people, Senator Gelser.
Be yourself, don't give up. We need women everywhere.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we thank you for watching Straight Talk. You can always send us your comments. You can send them to us on Twitter. Follow us at KGW Straight Talk. And thank you for watching. Thanks once again to my guests, Senator Diane Rosenbaum, Representative Julie Parrish, Senator Sara Gelser. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you, and we'll see you next week for Straight Talk. Have a great week.